Oh, we forgot to get all the swearing out.
Shit. There we go. We're live.
Okay, we're live.
So we're not explicit, but we're killing monsters?
Oh, we're explicit. It's just there are 5 or 6 that Mike usually needs to get out.
Oh.
But,
Beep, beep. That's all you need. I'm gonna beat myself up.
Okay, cool. All right. So has everybody taken a look at the character classes? Everybody have an idea?
I have chosen the Hunter.
Okay. I'm going to start taking notes, and when I type it may mute me, so just if it's muted me and you're missing information, let me know.
Cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Exorcist because it looks pretty cool. I don't know, somebody already wanted it though.
I'm gonna play the Occultist.
The Occultist.
Assist by Fraser.
And then says there 4 people playing?
3, I think.
I could have taken 4, yeah, but I think we'll just run here with 3. I didn't hear back from anybody else other than those who said they couldn't make it. So.
Is laying on Julia's map now.
Okay, cool. I think that's an interesting group of people: Hunter, Occultist, and Exorcist. There may be a little bit of tension between the last 2 of those. But
Hunters and Exorcists never get along.
That's what I've seen in practice. But, yeah. Okay. So, stat generation is pretty quick. Once you know what class you've got, you get to put a +1 in one of the 3. You get to put a -1 in one of the 3, and then you get to put a +1 in one of the one random attribute by rolling a d6 and then counting it off using that chart on the second page.
I get to be tough.
Page the second.
Page the second.
I rolled for mine already, and so I put mine in. Put my -1 in tough, so I have a -2 tough, +0 precise, and a +2 clever.
You are a.
And I've done mine as well. I can give those to you when you're ready.
How did you guys? Do you just use physical dice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll get some dice then.
I think if you do Dice Stream, you won't have they won't show up on the screen for any of us. I think it's because of the Hangouts on air.
Okay. Andrew, what have you got for your stats there?
After everything's said and done, applying my class, I'm at +1 tough, +2 precise, -2 clever.
That's too clever?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel good about walking around with an occultist while I'm at -2 clever.
He's gonna do stuff, and it's gonna be bad for everyone. That's my hope, anyway.
Or good.
Or
Depending
good.
on your outlook.
Good. I'm doing the little finger quotations.
So is it? I roll 2d6 or what is it?
So it's just a 1d6, and that gives you which stat is increased by 1.
Oh wow! I grabbed every dice except a d6.
Oh, we should told him to have 2 different colored D6.
Uh-oh.
It's a cool system. I'm gonna take some getting used to it.
Yes.
But I think with Roll20, a macro that would help compare the 2, like show the light and dark and then show the comparison, would be pretty handy.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be nice if it had a how do you call it? well, you were saying at macro that it rolled. You just type in something like roll tough, and it would grab the stat, roll 2 dice, increase the dark die by the stat.
Yeah, you can do that where you can have a button like on a character sheet. You click that, and it'll prompt you, what's your modifier for the light die, modifier for the dark die, and then it'll roll them. And I don't know how to do all the coding for it, but I've seen lots of really well-developed character sheets, and you can look at the source code. I've tried to reverse engineer like phrasers that he put together for the Veil. I tried to look at that.
Alright. I rolled a 2.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's a +1 to tough.
Oh, I'm so tough right now.
You are quite, because your exorcist gives you another
Yeah.
+1.
And then
Then you could put your third +1 right in there if you want.
was anybody clever?
Not
the
me.
occultist.
So, and is anybody particularly precise?
I'm at a +2 precise.
Oh,
Oh. I'm sorry, mine is supposed to be -2 tough, 0 precise, +3 clever.
oh, wow.
I didn't put
Clever.
the random clever in there, because I also rolled the random clever. That's right.
Right. In the end, you'll have 3 +1 +1s and 2 -1s.
Yeah.
Depending on how they play out, that's random and dictated by your class.
Okay, so maybe I'll go 3 tough.
Dog. Right.
So tough.
Mm.
And then let's see, what does that leave me with? Where? -1 and 0. Okay. So I'm not precise. And I'm a little simple, but not particularly so.
So you're going to drop that -1 into clever?
It says precise -1 and clever 0.
Right. So that's the exorcist's modifiers. So we still have one -1 point to go somewhere. Yeah, that based on character generation for the base, what I call the base attributes.
We'll just go. I wonder if I should be very imprecise. Maybe, probably not.
It could work. Well, then we'll have one of each, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's do that then.
Okay. Cool. I've been typing these up, but I probably won't look at them for the rest of the game because you guys have got that figured out. The other 2 things we need to do for character creation, if everyone is sort of happy with their stats and with their class, is relationships, and then, masters also, it turns out we need to think a bit about, and then there's some world building questions for each one. So 3 things I probably should say.
Okay.
So, do you have questions about that? Are you happy to write some stuff, or
Who are the other characters that we can start doing relationships?
So you've got the Hunter and the Occultist. No, sorry, you've got the Occultist and the Exorcist here.
I just put my name, Claude, in the chat.
Claude.
Mine is Mr. Evans.
Mr. Evans, the Occultist.
And I'll be Gabriel Amorth, who is a famous actual Catholic exorcist. I'll write it down too. This is the first time I've ever done a hangout.
Really?
Yeah, usually I do like Discord or Skype or whatever, and then we do Roll20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think this one's pretty good.
It seems okay.
When Dice Stream was acting up, it wasn't the best.
Dice Stream?
Yeah, it's the app for Hangouts that lets you do dice inside it.
Oh. I guess
When
I'll
it
look.
decides to work,
Oh, sometimes it doesn't.
it acts funny because it's like sometimes it doesn't show the picture of the dice, and sometimes it does, and
Oh.
yeah, that's the main reason. I don't like it.
So you just go to add apps, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Install Hangout Toolbox.
There's a few different ones.
Oh, there we go. I just stole Dice Stream from Andrew because it said that he used it. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay. Cool. Well, hopefully it works today, I guess. Okay. So do I need to take stock of my natural aptitudes here?
Yes. So you'll have some options there as an exorcist. Not too many options.
Yeah. Fighting unliving.
Which spell check will try every damn time to convert into unloving. It's just frustrating.
Maybe it's an exorcist in the 70s.
Yes. Gotta be pro-love.
Yeah. Details. Cool. Holy weapons. Maybe I'll just... Squeaky chair.
Is my name displayed backwards for everybody or just for me?
Just for you.
Just for you.
It looks okay.
I want to play too now.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing there.
That's on that toolbox.
Yeah. Hangout Toolbox.
Oh, this is Hangout Toolbox?
Mm-hmm.
It's not Dice Stream?
No, the label that Andrew's putting up there, that's Hangout Toolbox.
Okay. Let's see if I can do that. It wants me to choose a logo. Oh, it's not going to do anything because I'm not not on the right not on the right machine. Okay. Never mind. You can look at Undying for a sec. I guess.
I haven't gotten to play that yet. I've got my copy around here somewhere, but I haven't gotten to give it a shot.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet either. It looks sweet.
Yeah, it's on the desk here, waiting to be played. Okay. So before we do relationships among the characters, know a little bit about who these characters are. Would everybody feel comfortable now just going around and talking for a quick sec about who their character is?
Yeah, whenever you want, I'll do it.
Cool. Why don't we go on my screen left to right? Andrew, Fraser, Mike.
Sounds good.
Sure.
I am Claude the Hunter. I'm a simple man. I like nothing more than to hunt the woodlands, bring home food for the family. My master is my brother, Brant. He's the lord of the area. He has the details. He is suspicious and heavy-handed. My aptitudes are navigation, stealth, and fighting. Oh, fighting animals. I don't know why I put insects. Fighting animals. And do you want me to go through the questions that I chose?
Let's do that in just a sec. Let's go through the characters, then we'll go back and do the relationships, and then we'll do the questions.
Very good.
It's a lot of phases.
I basically am a game warden in my brother's woods. He's the local lord. He's kind of a jerk. I just stick to the woods and hunt.
Cool. Just want that simple life.
Yep. Luckily, that's what PCs usually get.
Yeah, always. Nearly always. Gabriel. What is Gabriel about?
Oh, so it worked? I tried to do the thing that he did, but I didn't know if it worked.
Which thing?
Like the logo?
Nope.
I'm not seeing it show up.
I tried. Okay. So Gabriel, I think, is like 40 years old, and he's probably jaded because he had like an apprentice who, on his last mission, was slain, and now he's like unsure of his abilities. You could say that he is very imprecise now.
Okay.
And yeah, he's got. Well, I like the picture a lot, so I'm gonna say that he looks like the picture because it's pretty cool.
Yeah. This is a note to Slade to edit that and throw the picture up.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna do that a few times, but yeah, thanks. Okay, and who sends him out? Who is?
We'll say that there's like an Archbishop, Renaud, who is like the leader of these exorcists, and he's the one that assigns people, and he wants Gabriel to get out and start getting at it because he's been reclusive since the slaying of his young Padawan.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who might as well just say Anakin. We'll just dispense with it.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Okay, and
Did
so
he die, or?
Oh yeah, who knows?
Or did he die in lava?
He's dead.
Just walked away.
Okay. So how does Renaud do that? How does he try to get you to go? Like, is he an inspirational leader? Is he just a jerk? Like, how does he motivate you?
Maybe he shows him like a file on something that's happening somewhere and needs like his expertise in particular, and nobody else supposedly can take on this task. So either these people are like screwed or he goes.
Okay, I'm gonna say I'm just sort of like doing a bit of the mental arithmetic of writing the master here. I would say maybe then he has compendious knowledge.
Sure.
So he's got these big books, and he knows a lot of stuff, but he also trusts you. So I'm gonna put and trusting. You're the person to do it. So he's a good judge of character, and he thinks you're the exorcist for the job. Cool. Mr. Evans.
Mr. Evans is an older man, very sickly, always coughing, weak, and he is a little crazy because of how smart he is, but also mainly because he constantly is in communication with his otherworldly master. And so he has, and that may just be in his head, or, because of the fact that he can't actually do things, it it might be true. And normally he can be found in the middle of other noblemen's libraries. He used to be an up-and-coming nobleman, and whatever ritual he got into one day left him kind of a wreck. And so now he kind of just goes in between people's houses, like noble houses, relying on their generosity. And normally is always on the lookout for forbidden lore and knowledge.
Nice. You mentioned that he has otherworldly masters directing his activities.
Correct.
What are some of the properties of those creatures?
Currently,
or forces, I guess. I don't know.
They have mouth parts that they kind of click and rub together at him, in his mind at least, and he deciphers those. Normally it involves rituals. He's probably sacrificed at least one, maybe two younger people, and then various animals and such. They require blood sacrifices to appease them.
Okay. I'm going to write that as, and correct me if you think something different, clicking mouths and hungry for blood.
Correct. Yes. And then they direct him to certain lore, like, so normally he'll be in somebody's house, and it'll be like, go to this person's house, and there'll be a book there, and maybe it involves a ritual or something. He thinks he might be bringing them into the world, so everybody else can see their majesty. Not quite sure.
Yeah. Okay, I love that. That's weird. Okay, so now that you know a little bit about each of the other characters, Claude. What relationships, positive or negative, do you have with Mr. Evans and Gabriel?
Yeah, so Mr. Evans, dark energies surround Mr. Evans and will consume the unwary.
I've written dank energies, but let's go dark energies.
And Gabriel's faith isn't as strong as his bones.
You've been playing some Legacy.
Where are we seeing this stuff?
Let's see, that's relationships. Forming relationships. So after choosing a class on the second page of the rules.
Okay.
Yeah, the pages aren't numbered, and I think that is for the best in the long run, but certain times it's not the greatest. So we have, I think it's fair to say that the first one there was a negative relationship. Dark energies consume Evans.
When he tells that to Mr. Evans used that as a positive relationship. I'm just going to say.
From Claude's perspective.
Thank you.
And Gabriel's faith isn't as strong as his bones. I could read that either way, depending.
I think it's a compliment of his bones. I think he's tough.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna generally say it's positive.
Okay. We'll call that a positive for today.
I can see that, like, you keep him around more for his toughness. Like, you don't really care about his faith. Like, no, like, I want him because he's tough.
Yeah.
Cool. And then for Gabriel, so you can use the examples in the text, or you can do as Andrew's done and just write some new ones.
Can I go last and think about it?
Yeah, let's swap over here to Mr. Evans. What do you think about Claude and Gabriel?
I think that Claude, I'm going to go with your examples here in the book, and so the first one's going to be a I think negative example. Yeah, negative example. And Claude does not want my assistance. For some reason, he does not like me around, even though he pays me such good compliments.
Fair enough. Claude does not want my assistance. And what of Gabriel?
And for Gabriel, I'm going to say that Gabriel means the world to me. I just like that. I think he's helping to dispense with the lesser forms of the Master's enemies.
Nice. Okay. I don't know what that's going to mean later, and I like that. I like not knowing. As Gabriel...
Yeah, I think Mr. Evans, then, it would make sense if I think that he fights the true enemies of the world, because I think I'm like on the precipice of my own kind of faith, and then like his isn't rooted in that, but he still, gets stuff done. So I think I'm gravitating towards that more now. So I'm kind of like wayward.
That. Yeah, no, that's amazing. I was expecting negatives both ways because of your sort of contradictory concepts, but no, that's perfect. Cool. And what about Claude? I mean, they can both be positive if you want. We've got, one of each previously, but it could be negative too.
Would it make sense, since you're a hunter, to not want my assistance? Like, maybe you think that like the holy kind of stuff is not something that you need in your life because you're like grounded in the world already with what you do?
I think we'll make it make sense. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that goes into why I think your faith is a weakness, whereas your bones are strong, and I'll try and like reverse proselytize you while you try and convert me.
Sure.
Cool. All right, I'm totally happy with those. I guess in advanced play, one of these relationships could be with an NPC, or if you've got 10 players. Not that you have 10 players, but maybe you got 6 players. Maybe you don't write one for each character. But 3 has been working very nicely. 1 for each guy, 1 for each other player. Cool. So now, if everyone's happy with that, we'll shift over to world building. There are 2 questions that are very cryptic that I'd like for Claude to answer.
Who cares for the dogs in Claude's absence? I think my brother and Master Brant. I think they're actually his dogs, but I love them and I train them and raise them, and I'm worried he's not going to treat them well.
Write down. Okay, yeah, sorry, I'm just noting this down here. Yeah.
What food enchants people and how? I call it elf fruit, but I think it's probably elf root. And it's some sort of like I think a tuber, like a yam or something. And it's beloved because it bestows mystical visions, or it just gets you loaded and puts you in a weird headspace, depending on your perspective.
Okay, cool. That's one that I haven't had come up in playtesting, so I like that one. Neat. Is it in honesty? Is it elf fruit or elf root?
I think it's elf root. It's a tuber. Okay. It's a root.
Yeah.
And I just don't speak well. I'm not very smart, and I just thought it's been elf fruit this whole time.
Right. I mean, that's easy enough to confuse. Let's skip the order here. Give Gabriel some time to ponder the universe. Mr. Evans, you've got some questions there. Which 2 would you like to answer?
Who knows my darkest secrets? And I am going to say that this kennel person that I bribed, I don't know who he is, I bribed him to get some dogs for some sacrifices.
Oh, God.
Might have witnessed something.
So he knows your darkest secrets. So I want to push back a little bit, or rather push forward a little bit, and say he maybe does know something about the clicking mouths, assuming that's your darkest secret.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he heard them talking.
Oh, he hears them as well.
Yeah. After being exposed to the ritual.
That's fantastic. So he's, sorry. Oh, that's cool. Because I mean, you know, people kill dogs for various reasons. It's horrible, but it happens. But he knows that you're sacrificing them to strange clicking mouths.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. What other one did you want to answer?
The other one, what maddening secret do I know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how to communicate with the clicking mouth parts. Like I know how to open a portal to talk to them and discuss with them, which is what that guy witnessed.
Cool. It's all wrapping right together. Okay, neat. So Gabriel has some information for us.
So I think I already did Who Have You Lost? So that works already. I guess I got to jump on that. Where did you eventually find them? Would it be safe to say that I haven't, and maybe that's why? Like, maybe everybody says that he's dead, but since I haven't found him, I'm not sure or not, so it's like a splinter in my brain kind of thing.
Cool. Okay. So everyone else is pretty confident they figured out what happened, and you're not.
Yeah. Everyone's just like, he's dead, and like everyone else, maybe a few other people saw it. Nobody could survive that. He's dead for sure kind of thing, but I'm not entirely convinced.
Okay.
You know, if you knew somebody that could ask the clicking mouth parts, they could tell us where he is.
Yeah.
Probably would tell you exactly what you needed to do to get
You need a lot of dogs.
to the right spot.
A lot of dog blood.
Okay.
Where
Nice.
the
This is going to be a one. I like that. Okay. So all three of you, based on your relationships that we've already established. Oh, sorry. Before I go on, everyone's cool with where we're at right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So all makes sense. Ready to launch in.
Before, like, once we are ready to launch in, starting gear, I just marked down we've got clothes to pack, rations, flint and tinder, and hand weapon off the character sheet.
Yes.
Right.
So those are what you start with.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we take a few minutes to purchase items? That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I think I would like to get some sort of a ranged thing, like a throwing axe or a bow or something, but...
Yeah. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm going to let you guys purchase weapons and other things.
So when it says holy weapons, proficient with hand and heavy weapons, shields, chainmail, armor, or lighter, I still need to buy these things, right? I don't start with them?
Yeah, you're going to want to buy them. And if you're pretty strong, I mean, I would go heavy weapon.
Right.
And just break everything that I try to put into this world. Just break it all.
Let's see. 4 jingle.
Sorry, 5 jingle.
Oh, 5 jingle.
I have corrected that. Yes, in the newest edition. 4 is a bit restrictive. Just while you're looking that over, no one has yet taken caged pet or twine. And I think those are dandy.
Rare is 3 jingle?
Yeah, rare is 3 jingle.
Can't quite You know what? I'm just going to take a common bow. Oh, they're scarce.
And then you need your quiver of arrows. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to afford a caged pet. You should take a caged dog, Mike.
No. These are small pets. I don't think cool. I am going to take What weird thing would there be? I have a. Can I have like a jar that has an octopus in it that I feed?
It sounds like a caged pet.
Fantastic. Holy shit, I really want to see it.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. I mean,
Scarce is 2.
scarce is 2, yeah.
So
And
2.
then I have writing supplies.
Okay.
And writing supplies. I don't think anyone's taken writing supplies either.
I think I'll just have a heavy weapon, plate armor, and a small shield then.
Heavy weapon, plate, and small shield. Okay, sounds good.
Let's see.
You know, I'm going to be broke. I'm taking a long stick also.
Nice.
And even though I'm a hunter that just I walk through the woods all the time, I got to town and saw like a stick that I really liked, and I bought it.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. I mean,
Oh yeah, it is. It's not splintered yet.
no.
Yet.
Want to avoid that if you can.
I am done with gear.
Cool.
I think I have like a bastard sword that has like a splinter of the original cross that Jesus was on or something like that
Nice.
for the holy weapon. And I'm calling it the bastard sword of faith.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting juxtaposition.
That's pretty cool.
So there are various relics and things of bishops and other high holy offices that you can find, objects that supposedly belong to religious figures and prophets and things. Yeah, that's all totally cool. Hopefully you'll get to meet some of them today.
Mm-hmm. I probably have like holy symbols like etched all into my armor and stuff too.
Yeah.
Is there like a theme to your holy symbol? Is it geometric or a particular thing?
I think it'll be like equal opportunity holy symbols, so it'll be like from every faith, everywhere kind of thing. So I can banish the demons from every land.
That is cool.
Maybe the most common ones are on my fists. So I could like Christ punch people.
Show a series of big rings with holy symbols on them, and you'll swap out the rings depending on the origin of the demon you're fighting.
Yeah. Got silver brass or silver knuckles, and it says like faith. Boom.
So the most common religion in the game has these 3 goddesses at the head of it.
Oh, cool. Is
Uh,
there? Where's that?
I want to say page 10. Page 10 in the PDF.
Right before the classes.
Oh yeah. Cool.
And so these 3 goddesses are fairly universally. There's sort of an offset sect that doesn't view them as differing in age. It's just 3 women who they're called the spinner, the weaver, and the cutter. And that's a little bit of a different take on these 3, but essentially it's three women sort of representing the different stages of life. And they are very real, so they have a lot of followers.
I liked your prayers that you have in the book to them also. And then the way the death move or the near-death visions is written.
Yeah.
They did really well with that.
I think that's probably, I would say, after the dice mechanic, that's my favorite thing in the world, in the game. It's just so crazy and so cool. Nice. Okay, so how's everybody doing for items?
I'm
set.
good.
Mike, are you good?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I got my octopus and my writing supplies.
That's all anyone could ever need.
I need ink for the writing supplies, man.
Oh, nice.
You know how hard it is to get ink?
No, I don't.
The church bandit.
Right.
The church bandit, exactly.
Okay. So let's crack on. We're not doing too bad. That's like 40 minutes for character generation. I think that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Especially for me, who like I'm just dragging everybody down.
No,
What's
no,
that?
No. Oh, we're playing a game? What?
Yeah.
Well,
I cast. I'm just waiting to cast magic missile into the darkness.
Yeah, that's likely not going to happen, but something equally strange and magnificent will. Okay, cool. So let's get this rocket lit. So all three of you know each other. We've got those relationships that are already set up. You've met each other in the past in various circumstances, and you're not close friends necessarily, but you are you might consider each other as sort of colleagues, or you're also heroes in this world. And yeah, we've all got a little bit of positive and negative here. It's not all sort of animosity, so I think that's a good mix. You find yourselves in the city of Orphis, O-R-F-I-S. It is on the coast. If you want to take a look at the map, that's the city that's just sort of northwest of the little delta.
There's a map.
There's a map. This is a note to Slade to show the map at this point so that you can see it.
Cool.
And you're at that. Well, it's not a little city. It's quite a large city. A few tens of thousands of people. Excuse me. And you are in a little bit of trouble because you've all essentially run out of coin at this point. You know that you need to get moving with whatever it is that your masters are telling you that you need to do. But before you get out of town, you need some cash. So, you hear about you hear from unseemly fellows that there are 4 ways to get cash in this town. You can loot the catacombs. You can try to go into the glowing caves that are northeast of town. You can raid the Great Museum of Triburn in a city that's nearby. This place has been looted and burned to the ground 12 times in the last decade. And you've also heard that there's a beached ship along the coast, just a little bit farther northwest. And those, a beached ship tends to kind of break open and spill all of its wares, and you can usually get help cleaning up. I'm doing the air quotes again here. You can get help in the cleanup and restoration effort. Depending on which sort of magistrate gets there first, it could be quite lucrative. So you're pondering your options, and you all sit down at that same table in the inn. And I will leave it to you guys.
I break off a piece of bread and take a bite, and I look at you all and I say, "The caves, the caves."
I eye you, and then I eye the creepy, frail, nervous man who keeps pulling a jar out and whispering to it and putting it away. And say, if you two plan to go down to those caves, I'll come along and keep your skins intact.
I think I chortle a little bit at the fact that you think I need your protection. But I don't. I bite my tongue. I'll let you have it. Maybe if there's a barmaid or something that's serving us, I'll ask her more about the caves if she knows anything of it.
Okay, so this particular tavern is pretty low, low staffed. It doesn't have a lot of people coming around. There's a man in a sort of grayish cloak with sort of mud crusted around not just the ankles but at the wrists, like on the sleeves. He's only got one good eye, and he turns it to you and he says, "What did you need?"
This one good eye.
Yeah.
I like poke the Mr. Evans, and I say the caves. Ask about the caves. He seems to be your type of person.
My friend here would like to know about these caves. They haven't told me very much about them.
The caves?
Yes, the caves.
The glowing caves.
Why do they glow?
It's a crystal. It's fed by some kind of waters from below. Very strange, very strange. No one's been out there in a while.
When the last people went, did they bring anything back?
Some cutlery, some wounds had to be tended. They didn't stop in here. No, I would have sent them straight to the herbalist to be treated.
Why, is there something bad in the cave?
No, but you can't be walking in here with your wounds oozing and expect to be served. This is a nice place, and he kind of like leans in, and you can smell that there's this kind of like peat and feces kind of melange going on.
I like flick his tattered robes or whatever to brush off the dirt, and I said, yes, I understand what you're saying.
Yelp will know soon.
Yeah. The mother clearly blesses this place.
Yes, the mother, and he does a little sort of hand signal. He goes like this. He does one of these.
Yeah.
Mr. Evans looks at you two weirdly, as he has no idea what weird symbols you're making. And yeah, no. I turn back over to Claude. So, the caves, he says cutlery. I don't know how much cutlery's worth.
Do we?
I imagine whatever was dropped by the wounded when they fled might be worth our time. Let's go talk to the herbalist and find out what's been hurting these people. Prepare ourselves. There may be bears. There might be. I've heard stories of entire harems of owlbears out in caves around here.
It has. Do you say this loud enough for Odge to hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently subtext is we're all a bunch of douches.
He aims independently. He aims his bad eye at you when you say harems of owlbears.
Okay. Is it a wooden eye or is it just like a lazy eye?
It's milky and it's kind of lazy.
Okay.
Oh, now I feel bad. I thought it was fake.
I'm a little repulsed. I tend to think of myself as a pretty healthy person, and this like clear like visage of illness or he's in some way deficient. I'll mutter some word against the crone and get up from the table and tell the guys I'll go speak to the herbalist. I think you should come with me. We may find out more from her.
Okay. Cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So the herbalist is just across the square, but you have to kind of navigate left and right between other people.
I Assassin Creed them.
You Assassin's Creed them left and right.
Yeah.
They're all kind of pushing in towards the center to hear the crimes read out. So there's a scaffold there and a little sort of inverted L shape in wood. And it looks like they're hanging Fanciful Brill is his name. And he looks a bit of a pirate. He's got sort of motley colored clothing, wild, short, straw-colored hair. And there's a magistrate, tax collector, executioner, some functionary of the government, reading a list of, just horse theft, mugging, assaults with blunt weapons, assaults with bladed weapons, etc., going on.
I pull out the jar and have the octopus look at the man, and I'm muttering that to Zunluku, who's my octopus, that yes, like they think they know justice, like they don't know what's coming for them. Justice waits them all, and then I probably look at Gabriel and like, not Zunluku, and put it back away.
So, is it commonplace, do we know, to hang people for these crimes?
Not individually, no. But sometimes when the magistrate has collected 30 or 40 crimes, when they finally catch the person, they're like, we're not putting you in prison again because you're just going to break out, or have your friends storm the prison. Like this, we're ending it now. And these crimes are many and colorful. You're into the 30s by the time you get towards the herbalist's shop.
Do I know anything about the Fanciful Brill? I mean, he's famous in these parts. Do I know any stories? Anything that would tie him to either the shipwrecked beach ship or the clay caves or?
Cool. I would love it for you to roll a clever check.
All right. So clever's -2 for me. So on my dark die, I'm going to subtract 2.
Yep.
He looks like.
What do I do to the white die?
You leave that one alone.
Okay. So dark die is a 5. -2 is 3. The white die is a 5. So I'm a -2.
You're at a -2. So I'm going to add just the one detail. And it's going to be one that you don't particularly like.
He's too
so
fancy.
I list this under negative details. I'll list this. Is that right?
So I'll add this to Fanciful Brill, actually.
Okay.
In this case, because you're sort of probing about the world, and I'll add some details to the world that you know about. And then the magistrate clears his throat and actually flips to the second scroll of crimes and says, "Poaching in Lord Brant's woods," and begins listing things off. And you go, that Fanciful Brill, the one that's been springing our traps, or killing our elk, or whatever crimes are suitable in Lord Brant's woods.
Yeah, Claude, Bambi, loosely based on this guy's life.
Is it appropriate to assert that, like, my brother would pay a couple of jingle for, like, this guy's head?
It's so it's kind of overlapping domain here.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that have caught him for these crimes, although those crimes are, have yet to be punished. So, I think it is fair to say that your brother would be very impressed if you brought him back. He's pretty heavy-handed, though. You'll hand Fanciful Brill over, and he'll execute him personally, just for the satisfaction.
Well, I was thinking about just bringing his head back.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that would please him in some twisted way. I'm
gonna look around the kind of crowd watching for him to be hung, kind of get an estimate. I think they're going to be doing the hanging before too long. They don't want the crowd out here in the hot weather getting agitated.
Right.
So I'll look to Mr. Evans and to Gabriel, and say, my brother would pay for that man's head. I say once he's hung, we try and strike a deal and take his head with us.
I would pay double what he's paying.
If there's any particular...
Where's this money coming from?
Well, like,
good for
if you get some money, you're like, yeah, I'll just spend it all. If he has any particularly heinous crimes, what we could do is, I'm not sure if the Exorcist works like this, but could we not bring his head with us and make him kind of atone for his sins by carrying his head and like bringing him with us in our adventures?
Yeah, Gabriel, I think criminals of this renown, you can't let him be executed and rise again. So maybe, you could use your exorcist powers to demand the right to take his head.
Yeah.
And we'll have it as an NPC.
Yeah.
I think that would be fantastic. Is that cool, Slade?
Yeah, I mean, you guys
We have
are
to make
weird.
it happen, but
I like that. I like
Yeah.
how do we get his head? How do we do this?
Okay.
Maybe I have some clout because I'm part of this Exorcist, like the Order. We'll just call it the Order, I guess.
Yeah.
And maybe like the symbols on my plate mail is what distinguish me from other people, and I'll go up to talk, make Assassin's Creed my way through the people to talk to the hangman.
Okay.
Is that using a detail?
Sure. Do you need me to roll stuff?
No. So if you're just pushing through a crowd, I don't think there's any harm of that turning south. So, no, you're welcome to go right up there. This looks like he's getting to the end of his breath and also the end of the list of crimes, and he starts with the whereases. Whereas this is Lord Brant, or whereas crimes were committed in Lord Brant's domain, whereas the crimes of Fanciful Brill are manifold, whereas, et cetera, et cetera. When he says his crimes are manifold, Fanciful Brill kind of grumbles for a second, and the executioner stops and goes up to kind of hear as if it's sort of last words or some kind of defense of these activities, and sort of waves it off and keeps going. He continues with these whereases, and then he gets to the end. And he says, "It is decreed that he shall hang from his neck on this day," and lists all that out. And they begin sort of starting that grim proceeding. You make your way at this point to the foot of the scaffold.
Is there steps leading up to the thing?
Yeah.
So maybe with each step, as soon as one step hits or my 1 foot hits the step, I start talking and it gets louder and louder. And I say, "The crone would not leave this man to perish so easily. I demand recompense, as does the crowd, I'm sure, with all these sins." And then, with every step, I'm getting louder and louder. And then I point at him when I get to the top, and I'm like, "You will follow us until I deem it necessary. But for now, we'll be placated with your head."
So you're threatening this guy's life now?
No, the guy, the thing, right? I just want him to be even more scared, kind of thing, and get the crowd pumped up.
Okay. So he does the symbol. He does the symbol. He's saying, "Yes, by the mother," and meets you and says, "Well met." And he's called Morger. He's the executioner and the tax collector. But today it's mainly executioning. He's willing to submit to the punishment whatever punishment you think is necessary. To be honest, you can tell that he's sort of a quiet, grumpy, sort of bureaucratic type. He's not happy about having to do this at all, really. He just, this is how he draws his salary.
Mm-hmm.
So he's happy to sort of step aside and say, a representative of the judges is here. He will determine the next step.
Sure. What I'd like to do is if they are gonna just cut off his head, then I want to demand it for Claude. But when that's happening, I want to make my hand glow and rip out the guy's soul, so he has to watch his body get his head lopped off, kind of thing, and then he'll follow us as a shade forever, kind of thing.
That's pretty weird. Let's see how let's see how you would do that.
By pretty weird, you mean awesome, I think, yeah.
So you're essentially sort of banishing his soul from his body here.
Yeah, separating the two, and maybe tying it to something like my bastard sword of faith.
Okay, your bastard sword of faith. Okay, yeah, sure. Throw a clever check for me.
Oh, good thing I didn't take that as a negative. No. So I roll what for that?
1 dark die, 1 light die.
Can Evans offer to help before he rolls?
Can we just all figure out here how the Exorcist is the first one stealing a soul and not the Occultist? This just really seems to have gone wrong.
Initiative.
Some wires got crossed.
Oh, what about some sort of joint thing with the Exorcist and the Occultist doing it? Maybe the Exorcist can't do it alone because it's an unnatural perversion of faith
if you
or something.
Call me up there, I'll go help out.
I think the helping others mechanic would be pretty cool to see here.
Yeah. Fire away.
So say,
of course I'll gladly help you carry out the sentence of execution on this poor guy.
I'll say, death is only the beginning. Surely you've heard of Mr. Evans, and I'll back away from the camera or whatever and part my hands, and it zooms in on Mr. Evans in the crowd.
I'm in the background spitting when he says the name.
Nice.
Some of the crowd goes quiet.
I pull out Zunluku and I hold him up to Claude. Hold this for me.
Okay. Just, oh god.
And I pull out my dagger and I start walking up.
Okay. You get close to the fanciful Brill. He's smaller than you expected when you get up there, and broader of face, and wider of hip.
Yeah.
Okay. And
are those details, just so I know what you're doing?
Okay. They could well be. I'm gonna just sort of roll past it because you're gonna kill him in a sec. But...
yeah.
But,
that broad face will fit into a big sack, but not a little sack.
Yeah.
So maybe the sword is what's able to touch his soul, but everything else the Occultist needs to do with his jazz or something.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to have you guys to sort of narrate what you're going to do, and then we'll just roll on Gabriel's clever with an assisting die from Mr. Evans.
I'm going to do whatever. I mean, you're doing stuff. You're holding his heart or stealing his soul. I just bent down next to him and I'm like, don't worry. The clicking will start soon.
So I maybe I give my sword to the executioner and I touch one of the symbols on it and it starts to glow, and then when the sword goes down or whatever, it the head falls, but then his soul is exposed and it pours out of his corpse.
Okay, so only those attuned to this sort of magics will see that happening, kind of thing. Everyone else is watching you just kind of invisibly murk this person.
Yeah, I don't think
they should hang him. They should hang him, and Gabriel should swing the sword right at the bottom of the rope. Just break his neck and then cut his head off.
Oh, yeah, let's do that instead. That sounds cooler.
Okay. Who carries the fanciful brill up to that spot.
Maybe we both do. Like maybe.
I am like an old man who's withered away. Like
Yeah.
I am laughing at you if you think I'm going to help carry anything.
Okay, then I will.
Gabriel's pretty tough.
This dagger's taking it out of me right now. That's why I had to have him hold my octopus.
Okay, so I'll do it, and maybe the whole way, Mr. Evans is like torturing him with his words.
Okay. So yeah.
For the light die, I rolled a 1, and the dark die I rolled a 3, though. So that can't be good, right?
Okay. So one more.
No, that's good.
That is
that's
good. Yeah, and one more dark die for Mr. Evans.
Do I roll that, or?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
I rolled a 3 for that one.
Okay. So now you're in an interesting position. You can accept his die, and then you take a positive relationship with him, or you can reject his die, take your own die, and he will develop a negative relationship with you out of spite.
Okay, but it's like the same result either way. We're just deciding if it's a positive or a negative relationship?
In this case, it's because the two numbers are the same, and both of them are winning, you just kind of choose what you want, really.
Well,
Do you want a positive, or?
I'd say if anything, it would be a positive thing.
Okay.
Like,
So you
because I
do...
think I'm straying further away from faith in doing this and more towards the occult side of things.
Okay, so you accept his help and you take a positive relationship with him out of gratitude.
Okay, so another one?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll say positive, and maybe it'll say maybe the darkness
Has uses.
has uses or goes well with the light or something like that.
Mr. Evan knows the uses of the darkness.
Sure.
Because we need to make sure Mr. Evans is a key part of whatever it becomes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So yeah, are we pulling the trigger on this here?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So she falls through a plank in the floor and snaps her neck. Fanciful Brill is dead.
And then we've got the shade. I said, yeah, we should just call it the shade, and that'll be like he'll have to like work off, or she'll have to work off the sins of her life, and then I notice one of my moves is to get rid of the undead. So maybe when she's done that, I can banish her to wherever.
Okay.
In a way, it's kind of work release, right? There should be a release, not a punishment.
I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay.
And maybe I give like a speech, kind of like Boondock Saints at the end, where it's like, "Don't stray a little too far, or we'll come for you," type thing.
Jesus.
This has all gotten very dark.
I haven't even done skin and bones to preserve the head yet.
Yeah.
That's my next move.
Okay. Do you want to do that?
I'd like to taxidermy the head if I could.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay. You can taxidermy the head.
And Slate didn't think we could work together.
I didn't think it would work. I've been proven oh so wrong. Okay. Yeah. So give us a roll for.
Can Zunluku watch? He enjoys this kind of thing.
If you'll hold him, I need my hands free, and I'll just gingerly be trying to press him into your grasp again.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Wipe my hands off my robe and pull my. Do I have tools or so? I imagine it's in my pack with my starting kit, just a little dagger and.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I'll look to Mr. Evans. Do you have anything to embalm with? Do you know? Throw an aiding die in here, or the Exorcist, any of your unguents that you use against undead? Do I call for a help another test, or is it appropriate for me to ask another player to help, or do I roll my dice first and then determine if I want to ask her?
So you roll the dice, knowing whether or not you have help.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure if an exorcist would have something like that. Maybe.
Do you ever do anything funerary? Do last rites where you have like herbs that you rub on people or something?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. Like for when exorcists don't work. You're like, couldn't get it. They
Maybe
did.
this would be. Maybe I can taxidermy the head, but you can help make it like an appropriate vessel for the soul to reside in.
Oh, sure, yeah. Like right now it's tied to like the sword or something, and maybe I like place the sword on the head and it like goes and ties it to that instead.
Let's see if I can avoid screwing this up. So I'm going to roll my dark and white, and then Fraser's going to roll a dark die.
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled a 3 on my dark die and a 3 on the light die.
I rolled a 6 dark.
I will take Fraser's.
Okay. So you.
Oh, you know what? I have a. Do I add my +1 tough to?
You do. Yeah.
So 7. I've got a 7 versus 3 then.
7. Help me out with that.
Fraser
Oh.
rolled a 6, and I add my 1 to it.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Or do I not add my tough to his die?
I don't think you add your tough to his die. No, it's just an optional, just naked die.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a 6. It's better than my 4, so that's what I'll take.
Jeez. The sun's setting here and now I look like friggin' Edward Cullen. Sure. I'm a vampire.
Okay, so what positive Gabriel situation do you have?
Positive relation with Gabriel. Something to do with, like, regardless of faith, like, he's a servant of justice. Gabriel stands on the right side of the scales of justice.
Balla. Especially with my Boondock Saints speech.
Cool. Ow. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Okay. All right. So you've successfully embalmed this thing. You were over by 4, so you would get details to add to this head.
Trophy.
All the
Trophy.
details.
I think one of them is I want it to always be awake. Is that a hard detail or a scene detail?
Hard detail.
Nice.
I think her consciousness is just always watching everything around it.
Okay.
And then a scene detail, I think it's preserved, like it's not going to rot away, unless we get it wet. It's not Scotch guarded. We could spill coffee on it and ruin the damn thing.
Oh boy.
No 3 of yet.
Okay.
I'm really enjoying this. I'm not trying to be too comical. I just think we've taken a weird turn, and it's pretty cool.
It's gotten all kinds of colorful.
Slade's like, why did I do this?
It's
I regret writing a game.
no, not yet. It'll depend on what you guys do next, I think.
Okay.
Once we get to the
Well,
caves, she'll come in useful, I'm sure.
I'm
Where's
sure.
the barmaids? That's what I want to see are the barmaids. The busted barmaid. No, I'm kidding. Okay. We're going to the herbalist, right?
If you would like to
I think
continue on this path.
Well, they're messing with the head. Once again, the occultist not part of it. I'll go ahead and go talk to the herbalist while they're doing the taxidermy and such to find out what the people said about what they faced or that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, just across the square, as I said. It says Pox, P-O-C-K''S, Herbology on the sign. And the shop is empty because everyone is at the execution and live embalming show. And yeah, so Pock is sitting there and he's counting some dried, like kind of looks like rosemary or like pine needles or something on a little stick as you enter.
Is this your shop, good man?
Good man. Yes, of course. Well met.
I seek information.
Yes, many people do. It is a rash, a weakness of the bones?
Well, that's the question. I would like to know what other people have suffered in this shop. There was a group of adventurers coming back from the Glow Caves, XYZ amount of time. I wish to know what had happened to them.
Yes, the glowing caves. Very strange. Yes, very strange indeed. Small cuts, as of a dog. Maybe no, not a dog. Larger. A huge lizard or shark or something. Large triangle-like teeth, and one of them smashed off a bit of the creature. A little. Well, I'll show you. And he goes in the back for a sec. Comes back out a few seconds later with what looks like a scale. Maybe a big fish, maybe a big lizard, but thick and waxy. About the size of a quarter.
I put Zunluku on the counter. See how he reacts to it. Does he know of this fish? Does he retreat in terror from it?
No, he sees that it's not a threat and kind of goes over towards it and plays with it a little bit.
Okay.
Kind of manipulates it and seems to be...
Zunluku enjoys it. May I see it to try to analyze it? And I try to pick it up.
Yeah. And he just raises his hands like
the guy put the octopus on the counter. It's all done here.
Yeah.
Can I take a look and see if I recognize anything about it?
Let's see. Do you want to risk it and roll for it, or?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Let's do perception this time.
Perception. So that's precise then?
Sorry, precision.
There you go.
Something happened in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, precise.
All I have are dark dice. Ooh, I got a 6 dark and a 4 light.
Okay, so you're over by 2. So you can either ask me one question about it, or you can just tell me one thing about it. Up to you.
I like the idea that this was from a large fish of some kind. Not a shark, but a large fish, like a barracuda, maybe? Dire barracuda? Yes, that's the detail I will add.
Okay. So this is some fish that you've come in contact with enough to know what its scales look like.
Mm-hmm.
And from what you can tell, based on his description, this is what would have caused the wounds that he talked about, this barracuda-like fish.
Thank you, good man. When I return with my treasure, I will try to make sure that you get some.
Okay. So when you say treasure, he sort of perks up a bit and says, Pock is the name. Pock the herbalist.
The old ones will know your name when the clicking begins. Be assured of that.
Creeped out, Mike.
He's not too sure what to do with that.
Cthulhu loves you.
Pick up Zunluku and I leave the shop.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
Excellent. There was a... I see you guys are probably finishing with the skull by the time I get back. Zunluku and I found out what was dealing with these people. There's a large fish, triangular teeth. I suggest we send the Exorcist swimming.
Nice.
That would be my advice. Once we reach the caves.
Sounds like a good task. Let's go, old man.
I've just kind of got Brill by her hair, and I'm just holding it, trying to figure out what to do with it. And
Just like tie her head like a bandolier to your. Like,
I think yeah, let's do that. I'll put it in a bag, but I'll have it like the hair looped around my belt and just a bag over the head, but it's clearly like a head with the hair coming out of it.
That's crazy.
and that's how trolls were invented.
I'm not clever.
Okay, so you guys are there. You're at the entrance to the caves. It's a hole that's maybe 30 feet across and 20 feet wide. It looks as though some kind of undercutting due to erosion has caused this particular section to fall in almost like a sinkhole. So it goes pretty much straight down for, I don't know, it goes black after a while. There's a very faint glow.
I think I have a thing that makes Light of the Mother. I want to light it up.
Cool. Are you doing lots of light or just a little lantern-sized situation?
Yeah, if I could have like a little like Navi from Link glowing around and stuff, that'd be cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to do that without dice rolls.
Oh, okay, cool.
If it was like you're in a pitch black room and you want to light the whole thing now, I would say maybe roll the dice. But
Yeah, I want it to be like ominous and cool on camera.
Okay.
And maybe just keep saying listen sometimes. No, just kidding. So yeah, I'll have like the little ball of light kind of thing and go forward. And I'm probably a little relieved that I can still even kind of like do it with my faith shaken, you know. I'm just like, oh yes, God's still with me kind of thing, or the crones or whatever.
Yeah. Typically with an exorcist, the mother is your best friend, but it seems like you're kind of straying a bit there.
I'm getting old.
That's fine. Okay, cool. So yeah, you're able to get some light down in the whole sinkhole there. It would be a little bit of a jump to get down there. You might be able to sort of scamper down the sides, but it's a fairly steep.
Brother Gabriel, shine that light and let me view the lay of the land down there. And I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I said I'll bring it down to whatever you need.
Yeah, I think I have navigation, so you got a natural aptitude that might help here.
Oh, cool.
Would I be able to kind of spot like a safe place to try and leap across the chasm and maybe carry one into? Does anybody have a rope or anything with them?
I did not buy rope.
I didn't either. But I could maybe leap across, and then Gabriel could throw Mr. Evans to me, and then Gabriel could leap across and I could catch him.
Like a little child.
Is that cool for you, Mike?
Yeah.
Cool. Sure.
This is
So
weird. Yeah.
you'll be rolling. A.
I'd angle for precise if I could to
Yeah.
try and like get the ledge across the way and
I
use
think it
natural
is-
aptitude to roll 2 dice.
Yeah, I think that's fair. 2 dark dice and 1 light die. Yeah.
So my precise is a +2. So I only have 1 dark die out, so I'm gonna roll that one twice.
Sure.
So I've got a 5 light and a 6 dark. I can't really roll better on the dark, so I'm just gonna take the 6.
Okay.
Do I need to roll it twice anyway?
No, you wouldn't be accepting it anyway. So you're over by 3.
I'm still gonna mark the navigation because I would have rolled 2 at a time. So I'll mark that it's used.
Right. It gets sort of expended temporarily.
For how long?
For the
So we do an
aptitudes,
8-hour
it's
rest?
8-hour rest. Yeah.
Cool.
Helping is once per scene, and aptitude is 8-hour rest.
I think I'm going to add a hard detail that it's not quite as far as it looks in the dark. Like once I get over there and we have a good frame of reference, like it's not too bad of a jump for the others, if that's fair. And the scene detail is just like the ground is there's good traction over here. Like it's probably like rough rock. Maybe it broke recently. It's not worn down and smooth, so give them a good platform to jump to.
And you kind of established it as a really good platform, so I'm not going to make them roll. You can see that the sinkhole goes pretty much straight down, but only another few feet. You can easily hop down there, and you can see that the cavern sort of opens up to your left. There's a very there's a very faint glow from down there.
It's almost like they're glowing caverns.
This is crazy.
I think as you guys kind of work your way up to jump over, I've decided I don't need to help you because it's not so far. I'm trying to bundle the fanciful Brill's head.
Yeah.
I've got that long stick. It's about 2 meters long.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sticking her head to the end of it. I can't talk to her, but maybe Gabriel could like use that to look around corners and ask her questions about what's up ahead.
Yeah, or Mr. Evans with the clicking, right? Or
Do you want me to bring about the soul's return?
Sure.
Okay. I am going to draw forth the unliving.
Okay, this is going to go badly.
What?
Probably.
Even if it goes well, it goes badly.
Oh.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Oof. 7-1.
7 for your dark die?
Yeah, 7 over 1.
That's like unheard of. Okay. So, I mean, you have the highest possible stat and the best possible roll.
Yeah.
So.
No. It's a 4 and a 1 for the light die.
4 plus 3?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Right, yeah, because you're +3.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's fine. Yeah. So add two details about this.
It begins talking, but it's not in her voice, but it will answer our questions.
Okay, I'm gonna call that grim ventriloquism.
It's not in her voice, you jerk. Okay.
Okay, and then one more thing is returned. What is it?
Oh. I think they just hear a clicking sound.
Okay, the clicking.
Yeah.
So now Brill's head is always awake, speaking in tongues, and it's clicking, and it's well preserved.
And we're in a dark cave.
It's
so
not clicking, you just hear a clicking in the background, like wherever we are.
Oh, okay, so this is something you're doing to the scene.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just make a note of that.
Well, this place is getting eerie AF.
Yep, it's pretty strange. The clicking, yeah, so it's always clicking. If you're wondering if it's clicking, it's clicking.
Okay. And now...
Mike's just giving us background for the keyboard noises.
Yeah, it's just like, now I can click my mouse all the time.
I really just wanted to play Minesweeper and not have you guys know about it. And so now we can make this happen.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So, yeah, you're in the cave. It's the crystalline structures in this particular cave look more like salt that is kind of sort of salt water that's evaporated on rocks. It's kind of looks like moss or lichen. It's very brittle, crumbly, sort of powdery stuff, and very small. Like it's not big, sharp crystals. It's little, tiny, abrasive-looking crystals. But they do seem to glow as you approach them and fade away as you leave. It makes it very difficult to see what's coming up next.
I'm gonna grab a handful and start just trying to figure out ways to attach them to my arrows as kind of a tracer. Like if I shoot them fast enough, will they stay glowing long enough so I can like measure the expanse of a dark cavern or something like that?
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that adding a detail to my arrows, or?
Yeah, in this case, that would be using skin and bones to add details to your arrows.
Nice.
I just keep getting a picture of us tossing this head up ahead and be like, "What do you see?" And it's like it can't see in the dark, so it's like nothing.
Oh God, you're right.
Then you put a headlamp on it.
Darkness! All I see is darkness!
Oh my.
Just
So-
for my third time of the night, the Exorcist asked the Occultist to create an undead monstrosity. Just going out here real quick.
Yeah, no big deal. Everyone works together sometimes.
Oh my. Okay. Sorry, Andrew. How did that roll go?
Oh, I didn't hear a call for the roll.
That's okay.
So it's going to be the probably clever test. Oh, crap. That's not so good.
I'm gonna say in this case, you could argue that this is a precise.
I think they're delicate little crystals, so yeah, I'm actually like just trying to be very, very careful with how I get them tied on there. Kind of like tying a fishing fly.
Right.
It's not
Right.
necessarily clever; it's just nimble. That
Right.
makes sense. I'll buy that. And I don't think any of my aptitudes would help. Oh, stealth. Would stealth help? No, I'll save that.
No.
So, yeah, I'll roll, so I'm rolling +2.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. 3 dark die. With the +2, it's a 3. And a 4 light die. So you win by 1.
Okay. So I have to sort of add a detail that you're not gonna like, but it costs me something as well. Let's say, okay, here, I quite like this. So the crystals are really interesting. If you snap one off that's sort of this about half an inch in size, snap a chunk off, it will still glow. But if you break it down any smaller, it loses that capacity. It's no longer glowing. So you're trying to kind of break it into just like the right shape to fit with the arrow, and you end up rendering them ineffective.
And then it says an ally adds a hard negative detail to you, but you're like, does the GM have an ally?
Yeah, so that would be me just adding some negative detail.
It could be that these things are like part of an actual organism, or they are things that you're like killing or something, and you're like breaking them apart.
Right, it's kind of like an amoeba where if you break it into small enough pieces, or maybe like a worm where if you break it into small enough pieces, it can't regenerate.
Yeah, no, I like that. So yeah, if I get it small enough that it would like let the arrow fly, it won't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, you need a big chunk. I mean, you could take a big chunk and throw it, but
I'm going to grab some, and I put them in the jar with Zunluka.
He starts
okay.
building a little shrine.
Yeah.
Does he? What does he
I'm
do
still
when you
lost
do that?
on the move,
Yeah.
on the challenge.
Yeah.
Winning side adds 1 hard detail, so
Yeah.
you add the one that the rocks can't break down.
Yeah.
Then it says, but incurs 1 hard negative detail.
Yeah. So for
The
So
rocks
that's kind of-
incur 1.
Yeah, so the rocks incur some negative quality, basically. And that was going to be that if you break them into small enough pieces, they stop operating, which is something that's not going to be helpful to you, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to sort of pick some things that will make your lives a little more difficult, but not so crazy that it's like the crystals are also poisonous, so don't touch them.
I'm covered in crystal dust. I've snorted 3, just hoping, but nothing.
No, this
Good
way
news, you're dead.
I have a light source, though, in the jar. That's mainly why I'm doing it.
Mm.
So I just carry them around that way. And Zunluka is just playing with them.
Okay.
Oh, so the light's swirling around as he manipulates them?
There's that aqua look on the walls,
Yeah.
and then just that light clicking in the background.
So you're making,
awesome.
so you're making your way forward through these caverns, and this sort of pathway becomes steep on both sides, so it's kind of walling you in a bit, and you come across an underground river, probably 30 feet across.
I want to... Oh, what?
Sorry, just briefly, right where the water is moving past the shore, the crystals glow. It's a glowing cavern.
I want to detect monsters, I think, and the way that I do it is maybe like... maybe my sword has like those symbols and it like pulsates when it gets like closer to creatures or something.
Sounds good. Give it a roll.
So I roll a light and a dark?
Yeah.
So 4 and 4.
Cool. Did you get a bonus for one of those?
It's clever. No, just straight.
No. Okay. So you're gonna successfully do your thing, but you're also going to incur 1 detail worth of wrath.
Rat?
Wrath from the environment itself.
Oh.
Okay. So your glowing detection seems to point in the direction of the water itself.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see some shining shapes in the water, and some of them turn towards you, kind of aimed at the shore, and then kind of flit away. These look like quite large fish.
I'm a piranha. Okay. And so the negative detail is adding the monsters to the scene, kind of thing?
The negative detail in that case would be that the monsters are not just detected by you, they detect you.
No, they're kind of darting back and forth instead of just waiting to get shot.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I think it would be neat if I, like, charged at them and tried to, like, strike one, and while I was running at them, I, like, forgot for a second that Anakin was dead, and I'm like, come on, Anakin! And, like, motion to one of them, and then, like, charge forward kind of thing.
Okay.
I think I'm going to take the head on a stick from you, so you can go in there into combat and you don't lose her.
Mm. Yeah, like, maybe I toss it
Throw
to
me,
you.
throw me the head.
Thanks, Anakin. Raw! The light of the mother takes you into death's arms. Well, you should, like, drop your octopus in there and get it fighting the fish, beating the shit out of them. It's like...
Luku's a lover, not a fighter.
Oh, I see. I don't know. I don't want to know what it's doing with those rocks in there. That
It's getting its rocks off.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh my.
And Slate's like, I'll never play with you again.
This is getting very colorful. That's my take on it. But yeah,
You're going to edit this down to 3 minutes, like one scene.
character creation, and then
Yeah. Suddenly they're in a cave.
yeah, cool. So you run into the waters and begin bashing at these fish.
Yeah, well, I think I want it to be like a more of a calculated thing where like I stand in the shallows and when they like are going to come and like come closer attack me, then I like kind of spear it with the bastard sword.
Okay, so you're being pretty tactical about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying
Well,
to be anyway.
Okay, that sounds good. Let's model that as just a single round of combat.
Sure.
So you're smashing them with this heavy sword, kind of spearing them.
Yeah.
Okay. So roll tough for me.
Look over at Claude.
Whoa. So.
He does know you have a bow, right? Like you can shoot the damn thing.
Yeah. Well, like my faith has me in a fervor.
His bones are tougher than his faith, Mike. Let's see what he does.
For light, I have 6 plus 3 is 9, and then 4 dark.
No, dark plus 3.
Dark plus 3.
Oh, dark plus so 7 and 6.
So you're over by 1.
Sure.
Is that right? Okay. So you're successful in stabbing various fish.
Yeah, over by 1.
Yeah. But in some way you have expended some of your supplies. So that could be that you're stabbing into rocks and denting up your sword.
Maybe.
Or, it's your pack is getting splashed and your rations are kind of soggy and gross.
Maybe what happens is like they're the jumping piranhas.
Yeah.
And I like put up my sword quickly or my shield quickly, and it like hits against it, and then it drops, and then I spear it. So like the shield is like floating down the river or something.
So we're gonna hand that off to Andrew or Mike to decide.
Oh, sure.
So this is hopefully in advanced play, this is sort of the clever bit. You're kind of constantly negotiating with each other, like what kind of stuff you're running out of.
Yeah, Mike, are you inspired with anything?
For stuff he's running out of?
Well, what's occurring to me is like a rusty condition to his sword, or not his sword, his armor or shield.
I like that. That actually was my thinking too. Was some kind of water damage.
And
Okay.
so what? Gabriel has a shield. How many conditions can your shield take? There should be a slash
number.
number.
Have you seen those freaking Asian carp thing when like a motor gets turned on near them? They're bounding out of the water. I'd say not even rusty. Like no, his shield gets dented as one of these things flings it at him, and it dents the shield instead of his skull. The boats on those rivers have to have like wire fence mesh around them, otherwise the fish will hit the people and kill them. Like it's crazy.
Was it a small shield or a large shield?
A small.
Okay.
So just one thing will sunder it, right? One condition.
It's manged. Yeah.
So I think that's probably right, Mike. It like splits from the pressure of the.
Okay, so that's something that Gabriel's got now is a sundered shield. Excuse me. Cool. Right, so we've got a sundered shield. But you're able to make a good pathway, I guess you could say. Like you're able to sort of wound and distract and otherwise drive off these massive fish.
Okay. So they're no longer a problem?
Yeah, they're For the moment, yeah, they're no longer a problem. What do you do?
Are we at like a safe ford to cross the river and get back onto the path, or do we need to like go into the water now?
It looks like it's about at its deepest only 5 or 6 feet deep.
Does the water like flow into a pool? Like there could be stuff in that pool. Like if it ate somebody, their body would be in there.
So this is kind of flowing from your left to your right, and it goes into, it's a fairly shallow, or sorry, a fairly small sort of slope. It's a gentle slope in both directions. If there is a pool, it's to your right, downstream. But there is a path across the way.
Okay, so we'll keep on going down the path for now.
Okay.
I like that idea. Yeah, we're here for treasure. Like we don't have
Yeah.
any other goal than to get rich. So yeah, maybe that pool would be worth checking later.
Okay.
Or die trying.
I'm gonna look at the fish. If there's any bodies around, like are their scales really hard or anything?
Yeah, so it's kind of what Mr. Evans took a look at before. It's fairly thick, about the size of a quarter, kind of waxy, shiny, pretty tough.
Could I try skin and bones to repair Gabriel's damaged shield by like putting a layer of like thick scales like to surface it? Maybe cover up where it's been splintered and shattered? I don't know if that's even a thing that's possible. I'm just trying to think of a way to use skin and bones creatively.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, give it a tough test.
Okay.
If not, you've sort of damaged the shield irreparably in your attempts.
Oh, are you fine with me trying that, Gabriel?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would prefer to have a shield.
Do you have anything you would do to help me kind of say prayers over it while I scale the fish and like pick the right ones?
Well, I am a fighter. Maybe I just know, like, where exactly it needs to be placed in order to hold it together more precisely or something.
Give me a helping die.
Yeah.
So
light.
you're gonna roll one. You're gonna roll one dark die, and I'm gonna roll a light and a dark. My dark is gonna get +1 for my toughness, and then I'll choose whichever die.
4.
Oh, sweet! I got a 4 dark and a 1 light. So I'm gonna choose my die. So I've got a 5, which means I did not choose your die.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Sucker.
so
Rejected.
So now Gabriel is going to form a negative relationship from
We got another negative one now.
from sadness, and you also now have between you 4 relationships. So you need to consolidate this relationship.
Oh, because it's 2 one way and 2 the other?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I read that as like when I get 4 to Gabriel, I consolidate, but it's actually when they sum to 4.
right, when the sum is 4. It could be 3 and 1, or 2 and 2, or 0 and 4, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So who ends up with the 1 relationship?
That's up to you guys.
Well, maybe it makes sense for it to be negative now for Claude, because maybe you're like, you knew me in the past and now you've seen me post Anakin death, and now I'm like reckless and doing all these crazy things, and I'm seeming more of like a radical than of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Claude is going to take a negative with Gabriel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what should I do with mine then? Do I just have the 1 negative thing? Or?
So those ones get crossed out.
Okay. All the other ones?
Yeah, just the ones with Claude. You still have 2 with Mr. Evans.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I've resolved the idea that he's tough, and I've resolved the idea that he's the scales of justice. I have decided that he is just reckless. In fact, Gabriel's recklessness is going to cost me my skin.
As you look at the skinned fish.
But on the bright side, we did repair your shield.
Yay.
Yep.
So it looks like I add a hard detail, and then one of my allies adds a hard detail.
Yep.
I would add the hard detail that the shield. I don't know. Is it appropriate to remove the dented condition, or do I add a condition like sturdy?
You remove the dented condition.
Okay. Yeah, that's how I would choose to add my detail. Then.
Cool.
Yeah. And then who gets the other detail? And it can be Mike's character if you want.
So either Mike or Fraser gets to add one hard detail.
One more.
How big are these fish?
They're about 6 foot long, about a foot or two wide, and like 3 feet top to bottom.
He skinned it really well, and the corpse is nicely intact.
Yes.
And then, while he's looking at that shield and doing his work, I'm going to create a monster out of a corpse.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
I am going to want to, like this thing. While he's dealing with that, I pull out my dagger, and I'm gonna actually start carving legs into it, like it's going to be a walking creature.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm working on. Where are my dice?
So you don't need any dice. You've just been granted this detail.
Oh, okay.
So you're good to go.
I regret giving him details.
So you turn around and there's this walking fish creature holding Zunluko, in its flipper hand things.
Okay.
So we've got a corpse, and then we've got an octopus, and we've got a fish. Well, a head.
Would any of you would you like to bear any of your equipment either? You see me handing it a gear, the whole.
I'm gonna shift away from the damn thing. No. Nope. No, thank you, sir.
Come on, a good hunter doesn't waste corpses. You told me that yourself on many hunts.
I point to the shield no, we use every last bit except for all that, and now you've got it
I
walking
probably
around.
skin a piece of meat off of it. Look, we can eat it as we walk. It's okay.
Oh my god.
So it's alive, and you're just eating chunks of it.
I put it in. I take the piece I cut off and put it in Zunluku's jar and close it.
Oh. And that's how sushi was invented.
Let's continue on that.
Shall we take 3 minutes, just biology break and?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Mike, you want to reset, and we'll come
I'll
back
reset
to
real quick. I'm gonna leave the call and then I'll just come back into it.
We'll be back.
I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Okay.
I got an email saying Belly of the Beast came out now, hey?
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, they sent out a backer email to download it.
Awesome.
I didn't back that, and I really regretted it, because hearing the One Shots podcast of it, it cracked me up.
I haven't listened to that yet.
It was probably more weird than what we're doing right now.
Really?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
That's kind of scary.
It was pretty weird. I remember that one.
Well, I mean, you automatically start inside of a beast, right? So
Yeah.
it's a little weird.
Yeah, but I mean that has kind of built into it. That's sort of like strange body horror and like guts and
Yeah. Graphic. Hey, Slade, how come it has you as 2 pictures?
oh, where do you see?
Like at the bottom, it shows your normal picture holding up Undying, and then right beside it is like your actual face.
Yeah, this is my weird setup that involves my laptop for the purposes of webcamming and my desktop for the purposes of opening PDFs and microphone. Yeah, it's not ideal. That is the reason.
It's more confusing than 2-for-1 night at the old Owlbear harem.
I'm telling you, dude, that's the official terminology. The harem of owlbears.
Hey, Andrew, did you see the backer email that we sent out today for the Veil?
I haven't read it. Mike told me, and I saw that you had it here. But I'm excited to.
We're at 362 pages, and we haven't even added in all the artwork yet.
Holy shit!
And that's graphic novel size too. So it's gonna be like Space Moon versus Moonicorn, except like graphic novel size.
Very cool. I had a lot of fun with that. Mike was one of my players on that
Yeah,
one shot that we did. That was fantastic.
So it's gonna be a big one.
Start doing curls now. Just get ready to read it.
Yeah.
Cool. Shall we try to get to an interesting cliffhanger here and then do a little debrief?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are now starting to notice, when you can take your eyes off this fish monster, that the ground is beginning to look a little bit more man-made. You can see some sort of cobblestones that appear to have been left by human beings. And you actually do see a piece of cutlery, a kind of bronze-looking ladle lying on the ground. As you make your way forward, you appear to be in an alleyway, and that opens up into the square of a town that appears to have been carved out of the rocks. There are sort of window-like openings and door-like openings surrounding you in a kind of circular shape, roughly, as you enter this cobblestone plaza, you might call it. There is very little of the glowing crystals on the walls here, and it only seems to be sort of the area seems to be starting to be reclaimed by the crystals.
So it's kind of like it's abandoned and they're overgrowing it, kind of thing?
Yeah, it looks like that.
Okay. Is there
And
any...
are we?
Oh, sorry.
Is it like I'm trying to get my head wrapped around? Is it like dwarven? Are those a thing in this world that we're in? Or
I mean, it looks to be of high quality craftsmanship and of subterranean dwellers of some kind.
Is there a way that I could search for any symbols and go about identifying those symbols?
I was gonna ask the same question.
Sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna start. I get Zenluku back with his jar of light now, and I'm looking around, I'm with Gabriel trying to look for symbols or anything else we can find, and hand it off to Fish McGee.
took me a moment to realize I'm not Fish McGee.
Nope.
Yeah, I kind of had to stop there too.
You've been replaced as the fish. I'm sorry.
Okay, so each of these houses has a wooden door that's been smashed in ages and ages ago. Like there's dust on a lot of things, and yeah, everything just looks in a really bad shape. Inside these domiciles, there are tables and chairs, most of which are smashed over. And it looks like a lot of the table, the dishes and pots and things have been looted from these areas. There is a small inscription next to each of the doors. That is horrendous. So there's a small inscription on each of the doors, and you can identify those symbols if you want to try.
Yeah. So
I will help you do it. So
okay.
you can roll, and I will help you.
So I have it as a natural aptitude.
Yep.
So what do I do with that? I roll a light and a dark, and roll one of them twice.
So you'll, in the end, if you're getting help from Mr. Evans, you'll roll 3 dark dice and 1 light die. So you'll nearly always succeed on that.
So 4, 5, and a 3 for dark. So I'll take the 5, and then light would be 4. So succeed by 1.
Yep. So you manage to do it, but it takes something out of you. So it could be that you spend a lot of time at it and it costs you a ration, or you stop paying attention and your glowing light goes out. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that would be a cool thing to have happen. Like I like read it, and maybe it's like ominous or something, and then the light goes off as well.
Nice. Okay.
And it says, "Don't get caught here in the dark." Right when you get to that point, the mother leaves
your
us.
head.
Okay. So what do Mr. Evans and Claude do when the lights go
out? Claude is. I'm actually talking to the Fanciful Brill. I think she's teasing me that she's been down here before. She knows where the treasures are hidden, and she won't tell me where. And I don't, as a player, I'm not trying to add that in as a detail that like she honestly did.
Right.
But she's trying to get me to go deeper and deeper into the dungeon. So maybe it's the other voice that she's talking with. Maybe that wants me to go deeper. But yeah, I'm kind of arguing with it, and it's got me kind of pissed off. I'm kind of a simpleton, and it's egging me on and agitating me. And when the lights go out, I'm just gonna shove her head into my pack, kind of pulled off the stick, and just blindly kind of scrabble to shove it in the pack until it just shut up.
As you do that, it says something worse than ominous. It says something almost threatening. What does it say?
I think it just kind of, as I'm shoving it in, it just says, not to me, but clearly to something, "Finally, you get here now." Or, finally, you're here.
Okay. Nice. You can hear a slight scraping on the ground, as if someone's shuffling towards you. What do you do?
I'm calling out. I think your recklessness is going to cost me my skin, and here you've abandoned your control of a spell. I'm going to call out light now, brother, and then just firing an arrow off in the direction blindly, not even hoping to hit anything, just trying to drive it into cover and keep it from charging at us.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Evans is definitely like crouching down, hiding Zunluku in the fold of his clothing, like trying to like keep him safe, and just waiting for light to show up.
Okay.
Are you saying fly, you fools?
I'm an occultist, not a fucking wizard. Fuck those guys. Those are dickheads.
So
For
maybe,
wizards,
yeah, so maybe I like hear that and then I like raise an iron glove and like cast a light from it kind of thing in that direction.
Okay, cool. You're now in a kind of a stressful situation, so I'm going to say that you're going to have to roll for that.
Okay. Which is clever, right? The light of the mother.
Light of the Mother, yeah.
Fill a room with light. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I got 1 light and 4 dark.
Cool. So I'm going to guess your main sort of detail is getting that light going again?
Yeah. Yeah, I want it to be pretty bright so he can get off some good shots and see what's going on.
Okay. So, and then you've also got a scene detail, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's totally fair if you want to say that it's really, really bright, or, you know, kind of like boosted up in some way that kind of changes the scene.
Sure. Maybe it's like Harry Potter when he casts that thing in the cave where he like flicks the wand and the light goes up into the cavern and then it kind of like explodes with a brilliant bright light kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the thing that it illuminates is a little bit staggered by it or something.
Okay. So there's a bit of an extra bright flash in doing that. And at this point, you see what has been causing this scraping sound. It's about 12 foot tall, despite being hunched over its shoulders quite a bit. It appears to be a very, very old human, but maybe double size. Some kind of gigantic humanoid, and it doesn't appear particularly muscular. It's got some kind of damp robes over its shoulders, and it says, "The mother has no place here," and begins to lurch towards you. Let's cut it right there. Let's just
Cool.
we could. I mean, we can't really get into a combat at this point, I don't think.
I'd be very interested in seeing it, though. Like, I'd like to see that system, and if we want to, at some point, come back to this, I'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
be happy. I'd be happy to run it some more here. Do you
These
want to
characters
do?
haven't put you off from us.
I mean, a little bit. A little bit they have. Should we do just one round of combat with this creature? One.
Sure.
I'd like to see how it works. Yeah.
Try it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So it lurches forward and yeah, it's making for whoever smells the most delicious. So I'm gonna say that's Claude. Or is it Gabriel? Mr. Evans smells like a fish monster.
I'm magically delicious.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, and you also cast this light thing here that's kind of
Yeah,
seems
that
to have
pissed
pissed it off.
Yeah.
So it's gonna lumber forward and come to try to bring its fist down on your head. Can you roll a tough save, basically?
So is that the same amount of dice? The
Yeah,
light and the dark?
It's the same dice, but if you succeed, you just describe how you escape.
So 3 light, 2 dark. So is that succeed by 1?
3
And you're
light,
tough to the dark.
2 to the dark.
And then
5 dark and 2 light, or 3 light. So
okay, so you're 2 over.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, describe how you escape from this.
I think maybe instead of maybe it stops going for me because I say the light of the mother belongs in everyone's heart, even the damned, and then I like hold up my sword and the symbol's like pressed up against it and it like backs away or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's pretty confused and like maybe this little thing does have some power. Just for a second, it kind of rethinks its approach to things.
And then when Andrew shoots it, shot through the heart plays in the background.
Okay.
If we can't have Bon Jovi, I don't want to play.
Yeah, no. We'll have to dub it over this. Okay. So what does Claude do in response to this?
I think the reason Gabriel smells more delicious is that, like, as a hunter, I try not to pick up too many scents anyway, because that scares off, like, prey animals.
Yeah.
So as its eyes are drawn toward Gabriel, I kind of recognize its predatory. Like, I've predicted, like, I see how it's going to go after him.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and flank it.
Yeah.
Using stealth, maybe. To just kind of slip past its attention, like not make any sudden movements, so it stays focused on Gabriel. Get into a good position where I'm at maybe a little far. Let me just double check the range. Pardon me. Hopefully I got the microphone away. Is it's close, and then what is the next?
Close, far.
I want to be at far
Yeah.
distance. And just start trying to load it full of arrows using stealth for a natural aptitude.
Cool. So if you roll high enough, you'll get to do both of those things, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I'm going to roll the dark die twice.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, shit. I got a 6 in the dark and a 1 on the light. I'm not even going to re-roll the dark. And so that is 6 plus 2 for precise, so it's an 8 over 1.
Yeah.
7. Shit.
So that's 2 details.
Shot through the heart for real.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 details you'll add.
Okay.
And,
So one detail with the bad guy, he's peppered.
Okay. So
You should make it like as soon as I said the like it belongs in everyone's heart that you like shoot it through the heart.
Nice. Yeah, I think as I kind of dart to the side, once it's turned for me, like 2 or 3 arrows stick into its back, and then as he says, belong in its heart, like the third arrow like punctures through the back, and like you see it, the arrowhead burst out the chest, like blood splurting as it pierced the heart. And then my second detail will just be that I've. Oh, good.
Sorry, did you want to get to far range?
Yeah, I think my second detail is that I'll have maybe instead of getting like far away on the ground, I've scrambled up the side of a one of the structures to where I'm just kind of above its reach.
Cool.
You Legolasted it.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Mr. Evans.
I am mad that this thing is interfering. This looks like one of those other things that tries to take my master's place. So I'm going to call upon my otherworldly masters for help, and I am going to. I have Shade of the Crone for my class as a spell, and so I'm going to like plunge my dagger into the fish monster and like symbolically like do damage to the other thing. So like kill the fish monster to do damage.
Okay, interesting. So do you want to give that a roll?
Yeah, and then because I'm calling upon my masters, I get an extra dark die, right? This way?
Yes, you're calling upon the clattering teeth of the mouth beast, yeah.
And maybe the clicking gets louder.
Oh, hell yeah. The dark dice and the light die. Ooh. Calling upon them was not good, apparently. I got a 3 over 2.
So
That's with your modifier?
Yeah. I don't have a modifier. It's a test precise, not clever for that.
Oh.
Okay, and then so you're under by 1, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So you call out to the mother and you call out to the crone and ask her to transfer this kind of evilness that you're doing to the fish monster
To the other monster.
To the other monster. It takes a huge breath in and it says, "The crone feeds me. Its sacrifice is delicious."
Chitter, 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 chitter.
Chitter, chitter, chitter. Yeah. Cool.
I think more creepy for my guy. The clicking stops. Like, hey, sorry, we're out of here. Like, we're going somewhere else.
Let's just play this one out. Let's go back. This is interesting. All of a sudden.
So what's the detail the allies choose? Right.
So that's some ally of this creature is going to say some drawback to what just happened, basically.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, so it
gloats.
It just takes its time enjoying what kind of evil magics you've sent its way.
Nice.
And it doesn't make a move against Gabriel yet. Gabriel, what are you up to?
I want to. So I don't know that it's unliving, right? Like it's not unliving, or is it unliving?
It appears to be breathing and things like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a giant sort of twisted creature. Yeah.
Okay, so I had it like my sword raised to it.
Yeah.
So I want to like twirl, and then like bring it down to like chop off its leg.
Cool. Give that a try. And you've got lots of toughness.
Yeah, but I only rolled 1 dark, so it made it a 4, and then light is 5. So that means I failed by 1?
You failed by 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got legs for days.
Do you have any aptitudes to use?
Oh,
Do
I
you
have
fighting
fighting.
and living?
Fighting unliving, but it's not. It isn't
But
unliving, right?
yeah, it's not unliving.
Yeah, I have endurance.
Did you take not fucking up?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't take that one.
I didn't.
As a
either.
class skill. Okay.
If that was on the list, then we know that it wouldn't be a story game hack.
True.
Cool. Okay. So you're making for the creature's leg, and you hit it. You wedge your sword into its leg, and this kind of black Icarus blood comes out. But it brings its fist down pretty much directly on top of your head, and it kind of stuns you briefly. So you're going to take 1 negative detail related to that.
Okay.
However you want to sort of phrase concussion, basically. Mildly concussed.
Concussed. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. Where are we with Claude?
Like son of a nutcracker.
So he's just kind of brought a big meaty fist down on on Reckless McGee's head over there.
Yeah.
And the cultist just slayed his own undead pet in an effort to kill this thing.
Yeah, and then
I don't know which of the three of them to shoot. But this is the most actively hostile thing. What's the ground underneath it? It's cobblestones and things?
Yeah, cobblestone and some debris.
My goal is, like, I want it to, depending on how the dice work out, I want it to be kind of going near something that I could pin it to with an arrow. Like an arrow through its calf, pinning it into a piece of debris next to it, maybe an old... maybe there's some sort of fungus that grew like trees down here, and now it's dead and desiccated, but it's like a hard kind of almost petrified fungus, but an arrow could sink into it. So I'm going to try and add that scene that it's pinned to that if I roll well enough.
Okay.
And I don't think I have any more aptitudes that would apply here. My other aptitude is fighting animals. I don't think that would necessarily apply.
No.
So here we go. I'm going to call out to Gabriel to hold it steady while I pin it in place, and see if you'll help me.
Sure. I'll
roll a darkness die.
maybe it'll expect me to withdraw my sword, but instead I keep it planted.
Hmm.
Is that cool to get an extra black die?
And I got 2.
Oh, I got a 2 also. So I'm going to take mine because I get to modify it, so you're going to take a negative relationship with me. I've got a 2. I add my +2 precise is 4, and the white die is a 4. So we're at a draw. I reject Gabriel's help after I ask for it.
Right.
Hey, help me out. Nah, I don't like your help.
Cool. So you each get a detail on a draw.
Mine, I like to pin it in place.
Okay. So I'm going to write pinned in place here.
At least temporarily. I know it's not permanent, but give Gabriel a little chance to back out.
It's got this quite a large foot there, and you can fire this arrow through the foot and into the substrate. I guess this fungus that you've got. I think maybe it can grow between the cobblestones as well. If you've seen paving stones where moss has been allowed to grow, it can kind of bulge up over the edge.
Okay.
You've kind of fired it through there into that kind of materials, kind of spongy fungus material, and yeah, it's pinned in place. But it gets a little whack in. Gabriel gets a nice bite. So the creature decides that it's going to reach down and take a nice piece out of the shoulder that's holding the sword that's jammed in its leg in an attempt to sort of get you out of there. I'm going to call that ragged bite mark. I'm going to chew your arm off so that you drop the sword.
Oh, okay. I think the negative thing that I take with Claude is Claude never gets into the thick of things.
I use you for bait. Yeah. I've done this with a fish. I do this with a big monster troll guy.
Okay. Nice. All right. Mr. Evans, what are you up to?
I'm recoiling in horror as I hear the clicking stop, or as I see that this thing eats up my magic, and I am going to then try instead to use the Mother's magic and take the bright light of the room and try to hit this thing with it.
Okie dokie.
Cool.
How are you doing that?
I think I'm gonna, the crone once more is gonna get called upon to to take the bright light of the mother and kill this thing with it, hopefully.
Okay.
Like a shooting star crashing into it. That'd be cool.
Okay. Yeah,
I
nice.
hope this works.
Yeah, give it a roll. Let's hope that works.
Let's see. Oh, nice. Okay. 6 over 4. So, bam. I got 1 by 2.
Okay. So I'm gonna call that burnt by the light of the mother.
If that kills it, could it like evaporate into the light or something? Like pieces of it go into the light and then like get destroyed or something? That'd be cool.
It would be very cool. It's still trucking along though.
Okay.
So
wishful thinking.
Ooh, maybe it's like pinned in it, and then maybe for my action I can make it even like brighter to like hurt it more or something.
Yeah, I think it's kind of reeling from this brightness, and it's shouting out, "She has no place here. She has no place here." Basically, as it kind of like gets, its eyes are reacting really badly. It's kind of clamping them shut really violently. Cool. So, let's see. Are we to Claude now?
I think
Roughly?
Gabriel. Gabriel's kind of. Oh no! It hasn't attacked Gabriel or presumptuously Gabriel.
So it's been. It's kind of it's been mangling Gabriel a bit. Sorry, it was to Gabriel.
Can I pick up the sword and then like two-hand throw it in like at it so that it pins the light into the sword and then like hopefully kills it kind of thing?
Sounds neat. Sure. Yeah, give it a roll.
So 7 over 4.
So that's +3.
Yeah.
So that's a scene detail, and I'm gonna say I think that's probably a good scene detail is that you kind of capture the light with your sword.
Yeah, like I was thinking, like, because I dropped it or whatever, right? So I'll pick it up and then like two-hand chuck it, and then like the sword enters its body as well as the light, and then like.
Okay. I'm gonna call that skewered by light for 2. So because it's the mother, sort of the power of the mother, I'm gonna count the scene detail as a damage detail. Sure. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the thing collapses at this point. It slumps forward onto the sword and just rolls over and lets out a kind of wheezing, moaning kind of noise and dies in its place right there. Its foot still kind of pinned to the floor. Okay, so that's a combat.
Nice.
Cool.
And not too bad. I mean, that was like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And I think also 30 minutes with people who picked up the game today, read it, and started playing.
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
for some people.
yeah, like 30 minutes probably will get down quite a bit once you play the game for a time or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as deadliness, I mean, taking 2 injuries is fairly serious.
Yeah.
Gabriel's kind of mangled here. Claude and Mr. Evans managed to avoid direct fighting. Cool.
That's what you get for being the tough guy.
Yeah.
Did Gabriel start with any armor?
Yeah, I have plate armor.
Does that add, like, do those get knocked off before before fallen, or does it kind of depend on how the damage is coming in?
So that depends on me remembering that Gabriel has armor.
So is that mechanically how it would work? Is like maybe the shoulder bite would have just like dented up the armor or like torn a greave off or something?
I think the concussed you'd keep because of the sort of fictional setup of that one, but the shoulder one, I think I would convert that into an armor damage detail. Yeah. So that's me dropping the ball there.
No, but that like fictional positioning would determine whether armor is effective or not. If it was a poisonous gas cloud, plate mail wouldn't help at all.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and that's like the that's sort of where you have to make a ruling and say, as awesome as your plate armor is, you just got like set on fire. So that's a separate separate type of damage kind of thing. Yeah. So this creature ended up being peppered by arrows, burnt by the light of the mother, glutted with evil, pinned in place, and skewered by light.
Oh.
Nice.
And that's how you kill a monster in the indie hack.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Okay, cool. Let's call that a session.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very good.
I think like 2 minutes after this all happens, you guys loot the place and find dozens of jingle worth of stuff stashed in under floorboards, and make your way out safely.
Sweet.
Nice.
Very cool.
So that's your little sort of epilogue.
Cool.
If we played this again, we'd probably just start up again back in town. Now you have enough money to travel, and there's some more kind of plot hooks that you could chase down if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
But I'm glad we tried that out.
Say like it's dozens of jingle, and you spent some of it getting to XYZ place type thing.
Yeah, that type of thing.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, so that's my crazy game.
Very cool.
Not too crazy. So that's pretty cool, man. I really like the detail system.
Yeah, details works well. All of it works very well, I think. I like that it's a OSR with lazy GMing with the two, like the dice, right? That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Just pass it off. I don't care. You guys decide.
Yeah, exactly.
How'd you do? I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah. Well, and then you can't get mad at the GM either, eh? You're like, you're the one that rolled.
Right. You applied all your bonuses and your help from all this, and you still didn't make it.
Yep. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I'd definitely be down to play it some more.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. I'm just gonna go around and do a little bit of a thing that I'm kind of used to doing with my story type games with people from Norway. Claude. What did I like about Claude? So I'll just go through each and then talk a bit about what I thought was kind of neat. So what I liked about Claude was I think elf root like just blew my mind at the beginning. That was just super cool. I think Brill's head took this to a dark place. I think it took it to a dark place that I didn't expect to go, but I think I was okay to go there. And I think also like just jumping out of that combat and getting into a good spot to start shooting things is very sort of Hunter like prototype kind of activity. I liked the consolidation also into Gabriel is reckless and he's going to cost me my skin. I thought that was really a cool sort of proof that the mechanic works.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Evans, I love the pet.
Yeah.
And the clicking mouths. I think I saw a lot of this in our game of Legacy, the kind of, like I know a lot of weird stuff and I can do a lot of weird stuff. I think that kind of came over nicely. And I also like that you went outside the kind of religion system of the game and just made new creatures that I didn't even know what they could do. For Gabriel, I liked, let's see here, I've got some notes. I like the Padawan character at the beginning. It's actually interesting that the Exorcist in the last game took that same kind of approach with I lost my Padawan. I don't know why that seems to happen so much.
Yeah, I don't know.
I also like the expansion on the religion system by your character and just like showing how it works, like making light and how does the light act, and can the light do this, and can the light or can you take a soul from somebody? Like I liked all of that input into the game, like just kind of fleshing out something that I'd kind of said, well, here are 3 things, run with it. You definitely ran with it, so I think that was really good. As far as my own GMing today, I gave myself like a 7 out of 10, maybe 6 out of 10.
That seems harsh.
I think I think I'm still a little unsure of myself about the rules, but yeah, I think we got to some neat places, and I was surprised that you picked the glowing caves. I thought that was the least exciting one, but I like to give you options. Okay, that's my little spiel.
I'd like to
overall, real quick, like the game. I think you did a good job running it. I like the little facts you threw in. Like you gave us enough to go on. What?
Mike, reset your audio real quick.
No. Okay, you guys talk while I'm gone.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I like everything about this game. I like that it marries OSR very well. Usually OSR is like I don't dislike it, but I usually only come to it when I'm looking for crunch, right? And this marries it very well. And I like the GM approach, like I already said. I like this is how bonds should work in Dungeon World, but didn't. So I like that a lot. And everything about it was good, and I really like the consolidation of the 3 stats too. I think it marries both styles very well.
Okay. Yeah. We hadn't had that happen with the consolidation in the previous playtesting, so that was neat to see.
Mm-hmm. And I thought it was a good story. You might be a little harsh on yourself there.
Okay, I'll give myself an 8.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Maybe a 78.
I think the 7.
7.8. It's Kevin.
7.8.
You want to speak your mind, Mike?
I really like the storyline you did. I think all the different characters were interesting. I thought the Exorcist, like, calling upon me to do bad stuff was pretty cool.
I did not expect that. That was like the most, even all the other strange things that happened, those two getting together was very weird.
Yeah. My only problem, and I was telling Fish about this before the game started, was I do not like it, and I have to say this to you, I do not like Jingle.
You do not like Jingle?
I do not like Jingle.
Okay.
I would like it to be loots or some other word, just because like in Apocalypse World, the characters, when you're in character, can say barter.
Yeah.
And I just feel like my noble occultist guy saying, you want some jingle for that information? Like, that's my only literal complaint about this whole book, is that one word.
But I want you to do that. I wrote it that way so that people would be saying jingle to each other all the time.
And I totally understand that.
Is it supposed to be jingle, or are you supposed to like describe what jingle is when you make the world building and stuff, or what?
I would leave that to the individual play group. If you want to say, if you want to call it coin or gold or platinum pieces, or I think that's totally fair.
Oh, yeah, I'm just saying, yeah,
it's value of barter goods, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it really is a bartering system, and I mean that's one of the reasons why I just call it common, scarce, and rare in that table, is to kind of give you the feel that it's really not about counting coins. It's about like, oh, can I get that from someone? Do I know someone I could, cajole into giving one of those up?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a particular fan of bookkeeping, so I like it.
And I wanted to.
Well, I think the system's good. It's the term that works.
That's the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can call it coin if we ever play again.
That sounds good. There you go.
Or we can call it, gold or whatever.
We'll call it gold, and then my character will be like, "Look at that jingle, Mike."
I want souls. Like, I'll give you a tasty soul for your information.
So I'll just offer you this, Mike, before we get off the topic of jingle. I had one player who's like the the game economy is not crunchy enough. You need like jingle, but then you need like partial, like you need like jingle and jangle. Like 3 jangle to a jingle, like some kind of.
What? Why? Yeah, no.
He loves the crunch, I guess. I don't know.
No.
It was a good game. It was a good
I'll
game.
give you 30 cents a jingle for that bread.
Yeah. So some people want more jingle and jangle.
Yeah.
I like the levels of abstraction.
Yeah.
I thought, first of all, for jamming, I thought you did really well. I could tell that we kind of got you on your heels by just getting weird early on. So
Yeah.
whatever you felt about your jamming was probably just as you were casting about, trying to like get a grip on what we were doing. I thought you provided good chances for us to interact. The playing I thought was fantastic. Both Mike and Fraser just really felt like we were all collaborating, kind of building on what the other person said instead of competing.
Yeah.
Or negating something. For the system, I think character creation is fantastic. It gave us just enough platform to start playing on without requiring like crazy details or anything. I think it's brilliant. I love this. I think my only question, I'd like to see more gameplay. There's a few options to get extra dark dice, but like once that white die hits, like that determines everything. I'd almost wonder if there'd be a way, like when you call for aid, can you maybe have the white die at disadvantage instead of the dark die at advantage? Or I don't know how that would play out, but it just seems like you have a 1 in 6, like 17% chance that you're rolling against a 6 no matter what.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I think you handle like when we failed. A good GM in this style isn't gonna like kill you just for a fail. They just make it more interesting. So I thought everything was good. Relations I thought was fantastic. I'd like to see some GMing advice maybe down the road because I would not have good organized notes on all the details that you were coming up with and putting down. I have no idea how you kept it organized. If we were to abandon it and come back in a week, I would not know anything of relevance.
Okay.
So I think a GM worksheet would be a pretty cool thing to add.
Yeah, that's not a bad plan. What you'd have on there, and like I could probably pick this back up in a week and we'd be fine because I'm taking notes here as we go. So it like right now Gabriel is concussed and has dented shoulder on his armor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all sort of listed there. I've also written fish monster under Mr. Evans, but that's going to go.
Poor fish monster.
Details sacrificed.
Yeah, sacrificed. So that's kind of what I do like about this is that you would never kind of end the session and go, how many hit points did I have?
No, yeah.
Which is something that I did in D&D an awful lot. It's like, did I get my level up? Did I do my hit points? That's not going to be an issue here. It's like, oh, I still have a concussion. Like it's, there's a very sort of visceral, almost, tending towards body horror kind of, hit point system.
Yeah, well...
Or health system.
OSR is just like that, right? Like OSR is... Yeah, like the story game aspects being put in this is what makes it really fly for me, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Mike's description of it is, he said something where it kind of reminded him of the video game Darkest Dungeon, and I think that's a really cool way of doing interpreting the details.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because remember, even in there, all the physical and mental effects, like you added details to people, not hit points. Hit points were part of it, but it was a lot of adding on all these physical effects and mental effects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Things that would turn into scars, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I want to see what happens with this concussed becoming a scar. Is it like, does the guy have ringing in his ears for like the next 10 years when it's really quiet,
Mm-hmm.
I want to know.
It drowns out the chittering.
If only.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any other questions or queries about the rules, stuff that didn't make sense? I mean, there are some things that are a little bit... I know that we found that the helping dice maybe is kind of confusing, but...
I think
I like the fact that because it happens in other games where something happens when you roll those dice, like you guys become closer or you fall apart. Like I really like that addition to it.
Is there a like Blades in the Dark, Devil's Bargain kind of thing that the GM
There
can give
is.
people? Yeah.
There's an actual devil's bargain later on in the book.
Okay, so that would be really cool too. So even if you don't have like help, the GM could be like, hey, maybe you do get like an extra die, but if you fail,
Yeah.
that would be really cool.
You basically take them on as a new master, right?
Yeah, you take evil forces on as a new master, and they'll happily help you anytime you want. However, they always exact some horrible price. Yeah.
Cool.
I think the systems I'd really like to see come into play is master interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see the healing, the scars, things like that.
Yeah.
I think over a few sessions, when in a normal game you would be taking XP, I'd like to see how character advancement works out. Because I like, in theory, what you've done with character advancement. I think it's badass. And I'm curious because in other like old traditional games or even like fantasy flight games, 40K stuff, like I was always counting XP. Like whenever I'd play, it was trying to think of like, am I doing enough to get enough XP to do this thing?
Right.
But in here, I'm not even thinking about that.
No, yeah. The details really takes you away from that mentality. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan. You did good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say we should play it like a couple more times with the same group of people to see what long-term play looks like for one or two more sessions.
I would love that, actually.
I'd be up for it.
Are we? I'd feel bad if we're bumping Legacy to do it.
I'd like to keep playing Legacy, but I
Yeah.
think you've just released this game. Strike where the iron's hot. If Thursday nights work for Fraser, they work for us.
I just got back from work for like the summer, so I'm pretty much free whenever. So
Yeah, I'm cool doing it especially for like September. Let's just try this out and play it for a little while, and then take a break from Legacy.
Okay.
Get back to it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you guys are okay to do that, I'm happy to run it. Or I could run it.
In case fans of Legacy are watching, we're at an age turn and a really good resting point. So I'm enjoying Legacy, but no, I want to do this. Yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay.
yeah, it looks like I can do it. I'm playing with the Gauntlet between 1 and 4 o'clock, so I can definitely squeeze it in after.
Cool.
Make sure to eat between though.
I wasn't able to play any RPGs for 5 months. So, like from the time that the Kickstarter for my game went up to now, I played maybe 2 games. So now I'm making up for it.
That's not good.
Forever, always.
Okay.
Good deal. Well, Slade, thanks a lot for running. Fraser, Mike, thanks for playing. This was fun.
Yeah,
Thanks
Yo,
very
have
much
a good
for
one.
playing. Yeah, I really need the feedback, and I think I got just the right kind. So thanks very much.
Cool. Y'all have a good day.
I'm going to stop the broadcast.
Bye.
But